Now call to order. Item number 2 on the agenda, the roll call, establish a quorum. We have everyone present this afternoon, beginning with Dr. Trevino, myself, Jennifer Barrera, Mr. Herman Ariano, Mr. Ciro Zamora, Mr. Adrian Peña, Ms. Debbie Guerra, and Mr. Cody Reeves. Not present is Mr. Lee Ramon. So we do have a quorum. This meeting is being duly called and in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Section 551.043 of the Texas Government Code. And at this time, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag, the Texas flag, and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
To item number 4 on the agenda, the public comment. At this time, we'll have Ms. Hunter bring up the sign-in sheet. And there is no one here to speak on behalf of the public. On to item 4, the public hearing for the 2025-2026 tax roll and tax rate. Dr. Trevino.
Good afternoon, members of the board, administration and the audience, and any community members watching online. I'd like to invite our CFO, Melissa Sanchez, to the podium to do her presentation on our proposed tax roll and tax rate.
Good afternoon, members of the audience, members of the board, Dr. Trevino. Today we're going to be discussing the proposed budget and proposed tax rate for 25-26. So in our budget, we haven't really changed anything. All the totals are the same. The only thing I did change was like in between functions. So just like an overview of what assumptions were made when we prepared the budget. First of all, we prepared it with salary increases of 75 cents an hour for paraprofessionals and auxiliary pay increase. All teachers will receive the HB2 increases, which is $2,000 for those with 1 to 2 years experience, $4,000 for those with 3 to 4 years experience, and $8,000 with those that have 5 or more years experience. And all new teachers will be starting at $56,400, which is $1,600 more than last year's starting salary. We also budgeted salary increases of 3% of midpoint for professional and administrative positions. We allocated campus budgets based off of expected ADA. So high school got $170 per ADA, middle school got $140, and elementary school got $115 per ADA. We budgeted for an attendance rate of 91%, which is being pretty conservative. We also have an M&O rate of 0.7252, an INS rate of 0.4470, and that brings the total tax rate to 1.1722. So here are all 3 budgets for our 3 major funds. You see general fund has $48,040,596, same revenues and expenses. Child nutrition has revenues and expenses equal at $4,662,606, and debt service at $5,530,500, and revenues equal expenditures. So all 3 budgets will be balanced for a 25-26 school year.
I just want to make a clarification, Ms. Sanchez, if you could go back a couple of slides. So in this one, the 2,000 for the first and second, that's not based on House Bill 2, that's on ours.
Okay.
So we made that recommendation. The only thing that the law requires is the 3 and 4 years and the 5 and up. But as an administrative recommendation, we're asking for those that have one or two to get a raise also, but at 2,000. It's just not required by the state. The state will be funding us for those 4,000 and 8,000. They'll be giving us money for that. The rest of it, we need to budget.
Can you go back to that slide again? And I had one question on the third bullet point, professional admin positions. Are those, can you define professional admin? Those are principals?
Principals, counselors, everybody.
Assistant principals.
Assistant principals.
That includes the staff here at
Administration.
administration? Okay, just wanted to make sure of that. Thank you.
And this is a total budget, broken out by function, so you'll see all three major funds there, defined by function. And then we move on to our tax rate. So in 25-26, our taxable values are at $1.233 billion, which is a 1.52% decrease from 24-25, which is $1.244 billion. And this is because of the homestead exemption going from 100,000 to 140,000. And this still has to be voted on in November, but TEA guidance was set your tax rate and budget as if it has already passed. So our tax rates for 24-25, M&O was 0.7427, INS was 0.4470, which was a total of 1.1897. Our rate to maintain for 25-26 is 0.66493. For M&O, INS is 0.42965, a total of 1.094588. But our proposed rate is 0.7252 for M&O. INS is at 0.447 for a total of 1.722. So how do we calculate our tax rates? At the end of July, when we get our certified values, we have to submit our taxable values to TEA. And we submit them on this template, and it gives us the maximum amount we can have for our Tier 1 funding. So if you look at this, for our maximum compressed tax rate is 0.6322. So that comes from TEA. And then we're allowed, or we've already approved in the past 8 additional golden pennies and 1.3 additional copper pennies. So that brings us to the tax rate that we're proposing, which is 0.7252 for M&O. And then we add our INS rate, which is 0.4470, and that brings us to the total of 1.1722.
Just for the sake of the audience or people that may not understand, your maintenance and operation is used just for your daily operations of the school district. So paying staff, working on making sure students have the resources needed. The INS is to pay our debt. Okay, so you have 2 different buckets. You can't move the money from one bucket to the other. So if we want to make sure that we increase salaries for the staff, it needs to come from the M&O part. We really can't move money from the INS to cover M&O.
So we're proposing this rate, because even though the state did give us additional funding through HB2, it still was earmarked for certain funding, and most of it was for teacher salary increases. But we still need to, think about our costs for safety mandates. Right now, even though they up the amount, it's still not enough to cover the expenses that we have for that, and just the overall maintenance of our existing facilities, and of course, rising prices. And so the proposed rate will ensure that we have timely debt payments, we complete our capital projects that we've kind of had on hold for a little bit, and just let us continue with the services that we're currently providing our students. And so there is a minimal impact to taxpayers while meeting these obligations. And so this impact is homeowner. In 2024-2025, the average market value was $107,695. We had the $100,000 exemption that year, so the taxable value is $7,695. The rate was 1.1897, so taxes due for that average homeowner was $91.55 for the year. So in 25-26, the average market value is $113,854. You take out the homestead exemption of $140,000, so that leaves them with a $0 taxable value. So our new rate is 1.1722, the total taxes due is 0. And so the change in taxes would be $91.55 less than they had to pay last year. And this is a modest change that ensures that the district continues to invest in our schools, and citizens continue to invest in our schools. So that's all I have for the
I
tax
think
rate
this is
budget.
just a very good slide for people to understand that the tax rate is technically going down a little bit, but because they changed the homestead exemption from 100,000, so if your home was valued at 100,000, before you didn't pay taxes, now they've increased it to 140. So if your house is appraised at 140, you're not gonna pay taxes, and that's why we're seeing a decrease on what we're getting. That's why we said it. We did run the tax rate by Moak and Casey, and they also helped us come up with the figure that we did.
So do y'all have any questions? I know Lynette has something to.
No, not in this one.
Not in this one?
So we will be asking for you all to vote on the tax rate at the board meeting
Yes.
that's following this public hearing.
No members of the board have any questions or comments? Well, the time is now 12:21 and this meeting is adjourned. This public hearing is adjourned, sorry.
Officially to their phone.
The time is now 12:22 p.m. And at this time, I'm going to call the specially called meeting of the Alice Independent School District that's been posted for Friday, August 29, 2025, to begin at 12:15 in the boardroom on number 2, Pellet Trail in Alice, Texas, 78332. We're going to call this special call board meeting to order. Present at this meeting is Dr. Trevino, myself, Jennifer Barrera, Mr. Herman Adiano, Mr. Ciro Zamora, Mr. Adrian Pena, Ms. Debbie Guerra, and Mr. Cody Reeves. Absent is Mr. Lee Ramon. So we have established a quorum. We can now call this meeting in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Section 551.043 of the Texas Government Code. At this time, we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag, the Texas flag, and the United States.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the Texas flag,
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
On to item number 4, recommend approving the board meeting minutes. Is there a motion at this time for the approval of the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mr. Reeves for approval of the board meeting minutes. Is there a second? I'll second it. And a second by Ms. Guerra. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. On to item number 5, public comment. Could you check if anyone signed up? Right there. It's under. Ready for the first one?
Well, since we couldn't find it, I doubted if anybody signed up.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, we have nobody signed up to speak on public comment at this meeting. On to item number 6, the action item. Consideration and take possible action of the items posted on the agenda. Dr. Keating?
First one is just looking at consultation of possible action of the accepting the 2025 appraisal certified tax roll as presented at the public hearing. And Ms. Sanchez did assure that we post timely in one of our local papers, so we met those requirements set forth.
Is there a motion at this time?
I make a motion that we accept the 25 AISD appraisal certified tax roll.
Thank you. We have a motion by Ms. Guerra. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second by Mr. Zamora. All in favor? Motion passes.
The next one is consideration and possible action of the 2025-2026 Alice Independent School District budget as presented at the public hearing, a balanced budget for this coming school year.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita. Is there a motion at this time?
I make a motion that we accept the 25-26 Alice Independent School District budget.
Thank you. We have a motion by Ms. Guerra. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Mr. Guerra.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And I'd like to publicly thank the board for being very proactive in supporting our teachers, giving the 3% raise for administration along with the 2% for the first and second year teachers, 4,000 and 8,000. It's commendable. I'm sure that they're gonna be very happy with that. So at 75 cents an hour for our hourly employees. So thank you for your support. The next item is adoption of by ordinance of the 2025-2026 Alice Independent School District tax rate as presented in the public hearing.
Thank you, Dr. Trevino. Do we have a motion at this time?
Yes, I make a motion that we adopt by ordinance 25-26 Alice Independent School District tax rate.
Thank you. We have a motion by Ms. Guerra. Is there a second?
I think you have to read, I left a paper on y'all's packet, it says how you're supposed to read the motion.
Oh, we need to make it official.
Debbie,
Oh, right here.
Okay, Ms. Guerra.
do you have it, Debbie?
Yes.
Okay, she has it.
Is it the bold?
It's, I make a motion.
I don't think
So item number 1.
Here it is.
So we're going to revise the motion made by Ms. Guerra and read that
This
into the record.
tax rate.
It's this one right here? Okay. Okay. I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of the tax rate of 1.172200, which is effectively a 1.78% increase in the tax rate.
Thank you. So now we have a revised motion made by Ms. Guerra. Is there a second? And a second by Mr. Zamora. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And we have one more, or a couple more. I invite Ms. Villanueva up to the podium for this on consideration of possible action to approve the 2025-2026 revised salary list. I know that you all had already approved it, but the following day we realized that there was a situation that had occurred that she needs to.
Good afternoon, Madam President, Dr. Trevino, and Board of Trustees and audience. It's just an updated stipend list, and what I failed to do, and it was already had mentioned on the first budget workshop that we had, but the plumbing support for that was the one that was left out in y'all's copies. We already had approved that last year in around the spring that you had approved, and that's for Mr. Eddie De Leon and Mr. King. They are now the ones that help us out with the plumbing, okay, since we had lost our licensed plumber. And for the cheerleader head sponsor, Mr. Bettis had recommended to the committee to go ahead and raise it up, the stipend, to $5,000 due to the fact that they not only help the cheerleaders go and are part of it for the district for football games, but also for basketball games, volleyball games, for all events throughout the whole year. So that was recommended by Mr. Bettis to raise it up to $5,000. Thank you.
What was it before?
3,500.
Yes,
$1,500.
thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion at this time to approve the revised stipend list as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the 25-26 revised stipend list as presented.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mr. Benya
I'll second.
and a second by Mr. Ariano. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
And the next item is consideration and possible action to approve the 2025-2026 AISD District of Innovation Renewal Plan. Legislation has caused us to reevaluate where we're at. So I know a group of individuals in the audience helped revise it, along with Jenny Hall, our attorney. So I'll invite Ms. Vivian in case you want to elaborate more on this.
On our District of Innovation Plan, okay, there were some items that were to be removed from it and then some that were added. And one of the things that was removed was for the certifications for our teachers that was in place for the 25-26 year, and that is the legislature has passed a law for this whole state of Texas for that to be removed. So now this coming year, all and everyone that's here that are DOI teachers, they need to get themselves certified this year, and it is through the whole state of Texas. What our district is offering, and we have looked into in Charles and I, is called the 240 tutoring, the 240 tutoring, which is a system that guarantees a 90% success rate for our teachers that are going to take the test to get themselves certified for them to pass. We have also asked Dr. Kubala and Dr. Cantu to help us to offer them a computer lab that is over at Alice High School, where our teachers for the district are welcome to go over on Monday and Wednesdays, and they're able to log in and be there with each other, help each other, and so forth. But they can also log in the evenings and the weekends from home. And this is just one of the ways that our district is trying to offer and help them in any way, because we are trying to keep them. They really do enjoy being part of Alice ISD. They are making a difference, and they really want to stay with us. So
And the other changes?
the other changes was the library, where now we have some new changes with the library part, where the books, the textbooks would have to be now, we get them approved by, and I know Ms. Gracie was helping me with that, is where the public, and now that the parents can go on and are able to look at the textbooks that we are offering in our libraries. Okay, and then the other one is the grievance part, which is on the grievance part, we offer, and it has been approved, where we offer like Form 1, Level 1, Level 2, Level 3 grievance, and where we do have them in place. And on the instructional part, we have added on the instructional part where, and that Ms. Delena was a big help with that, where we do offer what is currently in our district, correct?
It has to do with the courses and information about like scope and sequence. And so what we were proposing in
our course catalogs.
the DOI is that that's satisfied by our course catalogs for middle school and high school that list, descriptions of all the courses. And then also adding links to the TEKS for all the courses to the website so that they're able to, parents or whoever are able to see what TEKS are being covered for a particular class.
I just have one question. So how long, so a new teacher that comes in this year only has 1 year to
This
get
year.
certified?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And that's through the whole state.
And what
of
is the
Texas
state giving them? How long is the state giving them?
This year.
Just 1 year, or is it
This
till
year.
27, 28?
Right now, there is a, for example, at the lower levels, okay, they are going like for math, English, science, and social studies. Anything up from 5th grade and up, 6th grade and up, it'll be the math and English, okay? But I met with them last week on Monday, the elementary DOI teachers, and then on Tuesday, I met with them in the afternoon, the secondary. But we are asking to try to get everyone as certified, and that we are here to help them and support them to get themselves certified.
My only concern is that certain programs that are out there
Yes, ma'am.
are not as cooperative.
Yes,
And so they kind of slowball. And so that would just be my worry about.
Yeah.
And I discussed that with the teachers
Okay,
because
yes,
I understand that they almost hold them hostage.
yes,
And when they can take the assessment,
Yes.
they make them do all these modules
Yes.
before. What they have found, and the issue is that sometimes they move from one program to another and they start again
Yes.
from step one. So we're telling them to discuss with their programs, we need to expedite it.
Right.
Because they're holding them off because they want to get, that's their bread and butter too.
Right.
The more time that they keep them in their program, well, every month these teachers are paying. So the district will pay this software. We're, I think, buying 60 licenses. And so we're gonna try to help them that way, but they need to do their part in talking to the programs. The programs have also been informed by TA
Okay,
that this
good.
is coming down the pipe and they need to get these teachers.
Because I know there's a couple of programs that you could call them all day long and they do not answer.
yes, and you are
And
correct.
so- Yeah, and so like I always try to advise teachers, make sure you get into a program that is gonna be there for you and answer your calls, because they're trying and of course, life happens and then they don't, and then, they run out of time. And so if that, that's just my concern, that some of these programs are not very good.
And that's one of the things when we hire them on, and especially when they're our DOI teachers, especially this year, because we already had heard it was coming down the pipeline, is we did mention that. And then when I had our meetings on Monday and Tuesday, some of them already were aware of it. They already had gone hold of their programs. The programs were already aware what was going on in the state of Texas. So now they're working into it to see what they can do. But like I said, we are doing our best to try to offer the software, and that we're here to support in everything that we can in our capability.
How many teachers do we have in,
Right now, on the DOI list, we have 69 teachers, okay? But not all of them are teaching math, science, social studies, or English,
okay.
okay? But like I said,
But it's
we,
really hard to decipher, you need to test
Correct.
and you don't, so that's why we're saying everybody needs to test, because it's.
Right. And is this everybody, or like also like CTE teachers, or is it, does not include them? Because I know there is no requirement for them, that's why I'm asking.
correct, not the CTE,
Okay,
but we
that's-
are, like I said, when we had our meeting, we are asking for everyone to try to get themselves
Get
certified.
certified, yes.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
And those are all the action items.
Thank you. So at this time, do you have a motion?
Yes, I make a motion that we approve the 25-26 AISD District of Innovation Renewal Plan.
If you have a motion by Ms. Gutter, is there a second?
I'll second.
A second by Mr. Reed. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. On to item number 7, closed or executive meeting or session called in accordance with the following provisions set forth in the Texas Government Code. 7A, Texas Government Code, Section 551.074, personnel matters. 7A1, presentation and discussion of new hires. 7A1A, discussion of the superintendent's recommendation regarding the hiring of an individual for the position of principal at Noonan Elementary. 7A2, presentation and discussion of retirements. 7A3, presentation and discussion of resignations. 7A4, personnel update regarding investigations. 7B, Texas Government Code 551.071, legal matters, board attorney advice, and 551.074, personnel meetings. My time is now 12:40 and we're now in executive session.
You just need to sign the resolution.
Okay, so I just need to have thank you.
Okay.
Please take notes.
The time is now 2:00, and the board is reconvened and back in the open meeting to consider and take possible action necessary on items discussed in closed and executive session. The announcement on the action items, 9A, consideration and possible action regarding new hires. 9A1, consideration and possible action regarding the hire of the principal at Newton Elementary.
I make a motion to approve the hiring of Samira Massey as principal of Newton Elementary as recommended in closed session.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mr. Zamora. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
And a second by Mr. Ariano. All in favor? Motion passes. 9B, consideration and possible action regarding retirement. That's information item only. 9C, consideration and possible action regarding resignations. That was an informational only. And 9D, discussion and possible action regarding ongoing investigations. That was informational only. On to item number 10, to adjourn. The time is now 2:01. This meeting is adjourned, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. And let's go Coyotes, right? We're first one tonight. Yes. Those schools. Even better. But are you
Thank you.